an honorary special guest for his opening day exploits. 10-year big leaguer, DH for the Rangers. Hit a bomb in the 2022 opening day against Toronto and the 2023 opening day against the Phillies. Back-to-back opening day homers for Brad Miller, who joins us now here on The Fan. And a good afternoon, sir. How the heck are you?
I'm good. If I could have just had every game like opening day, I think I would have been all right. Those are some good ones.
Yeah, that was great, man. Were you always amazing right out of the gates like that, or was that just special for us?
I don't think I had ever hit a home run opening day prior to being on the Rangers. I mean, I don't remember, maybe some good series, but definitely not anything memorable on opening days. So, yeah, it was fun.
It was just a couple of years ago. Now, do you think opening day will carry more weight for you for the rest of your life as a result?
I definitely will. Maybe the farther we get away from it, I'll just tell people I did that every opening day. It was the best. They'll just remember kind of the last two. But yeah, I mean, I think it's this should be pretty exciting. Getting to watch some real baseball again, and with spring training kind of wrapping up, and now I feel like we're just ready to watch some baseball in our house and get this season going. It's very exciting.
Now, are you still ready to play if that phone rings, Brad?
No. That's the other thing I was about to say. I feel like I am so far from being able to do that. I was so fortunate. I loved every minute of it, but just physically at the end there, the wheels kind of fell off, and I wasn't really able to do anything. Definitely not at that level. So completely happily retired, and just a fan.
Well, Brad, what are your obviously we're pumped to get this 2025 Texas Rangers season ready to rock. You know a lot of these guys very, very well. What are your realistic expectations for the club as we get ready for the new season?
Yeah, I'm excited too. I love these guys. Obviously, my best memories in baseball period was just being a small part of that, team in 2023, and that was just insane. So I've got a lot of love for the core group of guys, and I'm excited. I think it sounds like they're not happy with how last year went, and some guys are ready to get back out there and hungry, and got some more fresh faces. I saw they just said Kamar and Jack are in the rotation to start the year, which is exciting, and I'm really pumped. I think you're going to see a lot of guys kind of return to form this year, and the faces they brought in, I think, are going to really augment the great core that they have. So I'm ready to watch the boys.
Former Ranger Brad Miller with us here on The Fan. As a veteran guy in that clubhouse and knowing what Evan Carter is going through right now, what would be some words that you would want to share with him in this time?
Yeah, I think obviously he was incredible for us in 2023 and gave us that jolt that kind of, propelled us and was a huge part of that team. And, I think the interesting thing is being a major leaguer isn't about really the good times. I think being a major league player is about how you handle some adversity, big and small, whether it's an injury like he had with his back, and, just a tough year being able to stay on the field. And then when you're kind of piecing it together, of course, you're not in a groove and you're not playing well. So I think this is going to be great. He's still so young. He'll go down, he'll reset, he'll get his legs back under him. And, I would imagine he is going to be a very large part of the Rangers' big season this year. He just has to get back out and play consistently, and he's going to be fine. He's so gifted, and sometimes a little. I know nobody wants to be sent down, of course, but I do think getting to catch your breath a little bit and realize this is temporary, and you go down there and kind of break down the door again. He's going to be great and off to the races when he gets called back up.
So big game, Nate. Nathan Eovaldi's getting the ball for opening day. Now, you've gotten to face Evo quite a few times in your career, but also got to play with him, of course. So what makes Evo such a challenge in the box to play against, but also so great as a teammate?
So, yeah, first of all, he's on the Mount Rushmore of best teammates, period. You can ask anybody that's played with him, and his name gets brought up. First of all, he's the hardest worker you got on your team, but he brings such a positive attitude, but he's got this sense of urgency and this intensity, but you can tell he enjoys what he does, and he wants everybody else to succeed. So Evo's been interesting, as his career's kind of evolved. He's played forever, and he came up and he was this big Texas fireballer from Alvin, that threw 101, and his game has kind of evolved. He threw hard back in the day, and then he's developed this split finger, and he's battled back from Tommy John at a really inopportune time, when he was about to be a free agent, and he didn't even blink, and that's where I first came across Evo. Was he was rehabbing his Tommy John with the Rays when I was there, and he wasn't going to pitch for us all year, but every single game he was on the top step, and he watched every pitch of that year, which was I couldn't believe it. Like, he blew all of us away. So the next year when he was able to get healthy, get traded to the Red Sox and win a World Series, it was like, that's exactly what that guy deserves. So Evo's the best, but now it's cool to watch him because he has kind of shifted as a pitcher, right? He doesn't throw 100 anymore. He still throws hard, but he has this split finger that is just an equalizer, and he has this cutter, and he has these different motions. So, bottom line is, no matter what he's throwing up there, like, he's going to get guys out. He just is too strong upstairs to not have success.
It's former Ranger Brad Miller here with you on The Fan. Take us back to 2023 and some memorable developments of that World Series season early on. What impact did it have when DeGrom was lost after 6 starts?
Yeah, that was just playing on his team, too. Like, I remember the beginning of that year, every time he took the mound in the first inning and, like, it started coming out, like, we all looked around and we're like, is he going to throw a no-hitter today? Like, every single time he took the ball, we're like, is today, like, he might do it. He might throw a no-hitter. Like, he's just that gifted. And same thing, right? He blew out, and obviously we remember how devastated he was and emotional. And, obviously he had dealt with probably, I would imagine, some sort of the same injury for those years. He just pitched through it, right? He really just wanted to post, and he pitched through it probably more than he should have, but he tried. And the thing about him was, once he got hurt, obviously had surgery, he was there with us the whole time. He was amazing. He's a guy, it sounds crazy, but, even if he's not pitching, he brings so much value. So, it's just that he also is, one of the best to ever throw a baseball. So, I am just so thrilled for him. I would love to see him just go and tear it up, and I think he's going to. So, he's one of the best. Super humble.
What happened to the offense last year, Brad?
I think it's a tough league. The pitching is incredible, and I think also too, maybe we took it for granted how hard it is, because in 2023, I think that lineup made it look really easy. I mean, I think there was a stretch of like a month where I only faced position players because I would go into the game when we were up like 10 or 15. Like, I want to say literally, like, Boch knew. He's like, all right, we got this little middle infielder up there, Brad. This is your guy. Like, and I would just tee off on these position players. So they just made it look easy. And I think, every season you got to earn it. And every season, it's new. So I think really it's probably you just chalk it up to baseball, and then also too, right, there's expectations. So maybe once we don't get out of the gate how we did in 23, maybe some guys start forcing it. And, as a player, that's so hard, because that forcing it and pressing is not the issue. I mean, not the answer. But what are you going to do? You care so much, and you want results. So probably a little bit of that. It is a momentum-based game, and in 23 we kind of got out the gates, and nobody was talking about us. We kind of get out the gates great. So maybe, just, dealing with that target on your back, who knows? I don't know. But, I would imagine we're going to see a lot closer to 23 this year out of some guys than last year, for sure.
That's certainly the key that CY has tried to preach is starting hot this year. You brought up Boch. Well, you've played for a lot of different skippers, been around a lot of different coaches in baseball. But what sets Boch apart? I mean, from our outside looking in, he's just a bleeping legend.
100%. And obviously, it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Like, obviously, we got him at the end of his Hall of Fame career. So it's like he immediately steps into a room and demands your attention and has your respect because of what we know he's been in the game. But I would imagine even back in the day when he started his coaching career, everybody probably respected him and cared about what he had to say just because of how he is. He's the same guy. So every year in spring training, it's so funny, when there's no wins or losing streaks. I feel like the staff always says, okay, this is what we're going to do this year, guys. We're going to have this routine, how we take BP on the first day, and then the second day it'll be optional. Then the third day it'll be a show and go. And it's like this grand idea, right? And then you hit your first losing streak at the end of April or maybe beginning of May, and the coaching staff just immediately, switches up, and it becomes, okay, nope, we got early BP tomorrow. You guys aren't hitting. And the decisions become, punitive, or it's a reward if you are playing well. Okay, well, we're going to pull it back a little bit. Well, I was so impressed in 23. I felt like the coaching staff just stayed the same and just said, nope, this is what we do. We preach these routines to you guys, consistency, not getting too high or too low. And they did it, guys, all year. We did the same exact thing. We had the same schedule, and Bochy did not waver. We get swept in Cincinnati, and we're not really playing well. Nope, we do the same thing. So he's just so consistent. And then once we got to the postseason, I promise you, it was something we said out loud. It was like, hey, like, we're here. Like, just trust Boch, let him do his thing. If he goes to pull a pitcher and bring another guy in, we know it's the right move. So it's like, then his kind of aura just kind of gave us all confidence. So I think those two things were the main things that kind of like get me fired up with Boch, because he just executed, that to a T and was just so consistent with us.
What do you think about some of the changes in the rules that MLB has tried to implement over the years? Now we just have the automatic ball and strike system, but you were there, of course, for the pitch clock, and maybe we get the robo-umps one day. I don't know how you feel about that, if you've had any great altercation with an umpire you didn't agree with the ball or strike call.
Oh, man, I wish I didn't. There was never a good scenario where I, got ejected, and I looked back and I go, man, that was really cool. Like, I'm glad I did that. It was always kind of, a lot of times the next day it was me apologizing to these guys because they're doing their best. And I would always tell them, like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm crazy. Like, I didn't mean that. Like, I really wish I didn't do that. So, I had about 4 or 5 ejections in my career. But I think the changes they've made, although, yeah, they seemed a little weird at first, I think they've been great for the game. I love the pace of play. I love the quickness to it and the crisp kind of flow of the game. I don't think it changes too much. I think guys got adjusted to it. So now it's not even, something I think that guys are really even worried about, whereas the first couple springs I felt like it was harped on a lot. And the ABS, I think it's something with these challenge systems. It brings another entertainment aspect to it. You've seen some clips during spring, and some guys, almost like, showboating when they know they got it right. And some different, Mike Muchinski, the umpire, got on the intercom and was like, shocking, but I got it right, and stuff like that. It brings a fun element. I just think the league in general probably wants more offense, and I'm a hitter. So of course I would be, in theory, if they can get it done right where everybody feels good about it, then yeah, of course I would like the automated system, because I think it does probably, shrink the zone in and out a little bit.
The former Ranger, the World Series champ, 11 seasons in the big leagues. Brad Miller, great job, man. Thanks for your insights and perspective.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. It's fun talking Ranger baseball.
Salute. We'll have to do it again soon.
Yep.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.